Welcome everybody to another video where we dive into World of Warcraft and kind of go over what it's all about. Now this is an in-depth guide, but it's more so a loose basics on how to start playing the game. Again, to get familiar with the game if you're new to it, haven't played in a while, or just curious and want to check it out. Scar TV. World of Warcraft. Oh, how I remembered watching the trailer of the dwarf coming over the snowy mountains with his pet for the very first time. It was one of those moments that just really gave me goosebumps when it came to watching the trailer. That same night I saw the trailer, I went straight to my local GameStop, yes, GameStop, to trade in some games and get enough credit, hopefully buy that game the same night I try to trade it in. Yes, I probably got like $2 a game, but you know, I got World of Warcraft at the end. Oh, I got home, installed it, and as soon as I installed it, I played. Oh, did I play? I created my first turn not knowing anything what was going on in the game. WoW was really one of those games that was a cultural phenomenon before video games really were a cultural phenomenon. It was all over the place, commercials, TV. Yes, it was an episode of South Park. Yes, there were many famous people who had played World of Warcraft and starred in many commercials like Mr. T and Aubrey Plaza. And heck, I even heard Henry Cavill almost missed a casting call for Superman because he was in the middle of a dungeon and he'd answer his phone. And who doesn't remember the epic tale of Leroy Jenkins storming into the room full of eggs up Blackrock Spire and screaming Leroy Jenkins, killing his whole raid and going, "At least I have chicken," on a platform before YouTube was even a thing. Yes, WoW is so old that it predates a lot of your social media that we watch today. YouTube, Facebook, heck, even Amazon wasn't really internet with all your shopping needs at this time when World of Warcraft was out. So World of Warcraft is a game that's comprised of two factions, Horde and Alliance, red versus blue, whatever the current story leader versus the other current story leader, whatever it is. Usually it's a battle between the both sides to do whatever it is to save the world at the end of the day. Each faction has a set amount of races, each with a unique look that differentiate from the other side, as well as a set amount of classes that each of those races can be. Over time, World of Warcraft has become a little bit more of a casual game where more races can be more things, more races have been added, more classes have been added, just to kind of go along with the whole story that has been told in the game World of Warcraft. All in all, World of Warcraft is a game of its time and has a pretty simple methodology when it comes to classes and what they do in the game. There's three different types of roles that you can fill as your player in World of Warcraft. There's the tank that takes the damage, aggroes all the mobs to focus on them while the rest of the raid does the damage. The healer pretty much goes around and heals people that are in need of health to keep their group alive. And then the damage dealer's goal is to help kill the mobs so that they can move on to the next set of mobs. Now, each one of these roles, each class doesn't have the option of doing. Some classes can do all three, whereas some classes can either just DPS and other classes, all they do is heal. But all in all, you just kind of pretty much find what fits your playstyle. Some of them do their damage up close, while some of them stay far away and do their damage from afar. And, you know, tanks pretty much stand in the face of everything and just take damage, so we know where that goes. Now, the gameplay is not anything revolutionary. It's most like any other RPG you've played. At the beginning, you start off in a starter area where you are given a brief tutorial that is shown on screen. Yes, you can either turn it on or figure things out yourself. The tutorial is pretty good about showing you how to do the very basic options that come with World of Warcraft. You start off, you know, accepting the first quest, turning in the first quest, showing how to move, adjust the camera. Pretty much it gives you enough information to just get your feet wet and want to play more of this game. Pretty much you do this tutorial area or starter area up until you reach a certain point, then the game gives you a quest that pretty much makes you leave this little enclosed area and move on to an actual bigger hub world, and then this is where the game opens up. The map becomes bigger, you can kind of choose your own way through the game as you level up to max level, which is 120. Yes, it's kind of high right now, but there's plans to squish it and make it much of a shorter journey to max level, at least numerically, who knows time-wise. You can also explore the map, check out other continents. Yes, there's two big islands or continents in this game. One is Eastern Kingdoms, while the other one is Kalimdor. Each have major cities in them representing races in the game. There's the human city of Stormwind, and there's the Horde city with the orcs of Orgrimmar, to name two. There are also other islands that have been added into the game as the game has expanded to kind of include more story. But right off the bat, you don't have to really worry about exploring those islands. Just more so getting your feet wet in the original world of World of Warcraft to just kind of level your character up to a point where you feel comfortable then exploring these harder bits of content. There's multiple tiers of gear that you can get in the game, which is uncommon, common, rare, epic, legendary, and artifact. The benefit of having rare pieces of gear, the better stats and better abilities some of these pieces of gear will have than other pieces. Well, maybe before 8.3 and the introduction of corruption gear, but that's a story for another time. Now, besides questing and going to the various areas to level up, this game does offer other activities you can do while leveling, and also at max level. There's dungeons, which are 5-player groups that consist of a tank, a healer, 3 DPS. Raids, which are endgame content that start at 10 players, consist of 2 tanks, various amount of healers, and DPS depending on the amount of people. And there's also world quests, which are pretty much quests in the world that are daily, and you can go and do various objectives on various parts of maps, as well as PvP, where you play against other players in instance battles or even in the world. You can even revisit old raids, dungeons, and other areas of the game to collect mounts, gear, get lore from previous expansion packs. Heck, you like Pokemon? This game even has pet battles, which are pets that you find in the world that you can battle, or find other NPCs and battle them as well. I mean, the list goes on and on. Really, what you can do in this game. I mean, there's so much content that you could probably make multiple videos about, but you can't fit it all in just one video. Like the video if you like the video. Tell me what you want to know more about WoW in the comments down below, and hit that sub button to let you know when another video like this one does go live. Scar TV, out.